show me conversion rates. Show me if I give you $7,000 a month, what is that going to produce?
How many
you know
leads,
what I mean?
how many meetings, how many clients, how many cases? Yeah, sure.
Right. And then, and you showed me all that in the beginning. What I think separates, Magneto from everybody else that I've worked with is that and you mentioned this like right out of the gate. Like number one, I saw you actually showed me data. I talked to a firm where I was like, look, I need to see data. I need to see conversion rate.
That's true. Yeah.
And he refused to show me because he's like, look, this is confidential information. And so I said, well, ask your client if it's confidential. And then, because why would they not want, why would they not want you to succeed as a business by showing me what you could do for other people? Like, I don't even know who the firm is.
No.
Like, I don't care who the firm is. Just show me conversion rates. Show me if I give you $7,000 a month, what is that going to produce?
How many
leads,
what I mean? How many meetings, how many clients? Yeah. How many cases? Yeah, sure.
Right. And then, and you showed me all that in the beginning. And I knew from seeing your data versus my familiarity with the data that I had my own data from the past, sure, and from the discussions I've had with other companies and seeing their data, I knew the conversion rate that you had was, I want to say 5 times what I was used to seeing. And another thing that I think separated you from these other companies was that although you said the same thing, like, look, we're going to get you leads, you knew the big fall off with firms. It's one thing to have a client call me, but am I answering every call that comes in quick enough? Right. Yeah. Am I getting enough data from that call? And am I being responsive enough to that call to actually get them on my calendar so I can talk to them? And you automate that entire process. And so,
I think it's worth, it's a really good point. It's worth sharing a little bit of detail about that, because a lot of people don't realize that a lead really is pretty meaningless unless it's on the calendar and you spoke to it.
Right. And unless action was taken
qualified it and spoke to it,
Right.
And since we've started working together, you've never, ever had to take a call or call outbound for any leads.
No, not unless they're referrals, because then they call the front desk.
Sure. Right? Yeah.
Because that's the other thing that you automate. So we have this call center that gets all these calls. They take the initial info down. They pre-screen the client, right? Yeah. If it's not a client, they send me an email that says, this person's not a client. This is why they're not a client. If you want to call them back, this is their info. We're not scheduling it. We're not putting them on your calendar. So you can make the decision whether or not you want to spend the time to reach back out to that person.
Yeah.
And if they've been pre-screened, they just get put on the calendar, know, and then, we want to call them back, verify some information, but they're put on the calendar already. And so, then we just got to go in and, update the information. We have the consultation and, everything's kind of on autopilot.